Okay, so when I saw the trader character being leaked by Link and Lockdown, I knew my next video was 100% going to be on this. Now, Mass has made my thumbnail yet again. He's just reached 50 subs, so congrats to him. Also, I'm close to 1,000, so if you want to help me out, that'd be much appreciated. Now, I just want to get it out there. Like I said with Jackie and all the other toons, they are beatable. There is no character in this game that is gonna swap the meta so much that you just can't get past the defense, because at this point in time, there's nothing that cannot be beaten. However, I really dislike this character, and I do not think he should have been introduced into the game. Now, personally, I'm not going to be pulling for him, you know. I just don't really want to. He's not my type of character. But I do think he's going to cause a trouble for a lot of people. And I mean a lot. Now, I'll go over my reasons and all that in a second. But first of all, we'll look at his kit. So, first of all, I'll go over the simple shit. Then we'll go over to the more, what the fuck is this doing in the game? So, obviously, we'll go for the active skill first. Turn 1 with no cooldown. But obviously, he's going to, on defense, he'll use his active attack. So basically, target enemy gets 15% infection for 2 turns. This character gains 35% AP. Now, if you don't know what infection does, means if you can't heal the percentage of infection you've got on your character within the time limit, your character is going insta-dead. You know, he's completely wiped off the board. So, 2 turns is already faster than Mateo. He was a turn 3. And also, you've got to bring a healer or you've got to bring heal weapons, because I don't see bringing a healer in that viable, because there's no way in hell anyone is going to mod him offensively or anything close to squishy. So here's what I'm proposing, right? So he's got low attack, so never going to be modded offensively, but his defense and HP are going to be buffed up as much as possible when being modded and weapon wise. So, you know, you're going to need some real heavy damage behind your team. So you bring in a healer for a slot, it's not viable. It's just not. Maybe if they do attack and a heal on the rush, that might be alright, like a Maggie as a command, just as a command. You know, if you can get her to rush, then everyone gets the heal. No one dies from infection. But then again, I wouldn't really prioritize rushing Maggie over anyone else on the team. So, not that viable. There is ways to get around it, but that's just a small one at the start. His weapon, I don't really have a problem with. 30 defense, medium when taking damage, and when being attacked, a great chance to cause 25% infection to one enemy for 2 turns. Now, yet again, I don't think this weapon is broken or anything. I think it's a pretty good weapon. Yet again, 2 turns for infection is pretty rough, because, you know, I wouldn't use anyone that directly attacks him. Like, a princess is pretty good for this. Priya has 3 chances of getting that on her, so not ideal by any means, but yet again, the weapon, not that bad. I'd put probably either huge when taking damage, or I'll just put defense there, to be honest. But we'll go on to the Adrenaline Rush. Now, this is where it really does help that he has that weapon. This character gets 50% bonus HP and defense for 2 turns while battling on the defense team. Up to 3 enemies get taunt. Minus 50% attack, so you're doing even less attack damage to him. And 100% heal reduction, meaning you can't heal. So if you've got infection on you, there is no way you can get rid of it without a cleanser on your team, which I don't think anyone is going to be running, to be honest. So that is devastating. If he rushes and you get infection, you've got to finish the match there and then, otherwise you're going to be wiped off the field. Now, as if this doesn't sound bad, it gets miles worse, and here's where my main problem is. I didn't really have a problem with his Adrenaline Rush, his active, and his weapon. That's not really much of a concern to me. I think it's average. If it was less of that, it was average. It's a bit above average. I would say it's worth a pull. But considering the specialist skill, it is beyond stupid. Now, I'm sure you've watched Lockdown, Link, and you've been hearing speculations around on how good this specialist skill is. So if you just don't know, this character has 50% resistance against all status effects. So straight away, with no mods on him, he has the 50% chance to resist pretty much everything. So this stacks with all other resistance. Now, he has 2 mod slots where he can put a resist mods on. So that's stun, confuse, and whatnot. So if they put a mod on that is over 50%, from my knowledge, that stacks to 100. That means he's completely immune to, let's say, you put a stun and an impair on there. He can't be impaired or stunned at all. 100% cannot be done. And also, if you didn't think the special skill was good, let me just alliterate. That stun, impairs, confuse, taunt, bleed, burn, disarm, defense down, normalize, you know, everything in the game that is a status effect, like, you know, all of it. He's got a 50% resistance to it at base. That's with nothing else. Just let that sink in. That is insanity. That should not be in the game. Obviously, it's next to War of Champions. Who didn't suspect that? But boys, to be honest, I think there's going to be something even worse coming out. Give it 1 week before War of Champions. There's going to be something even worse. I'm skidding out there. So, just in my opinion, this character is just horribly unbalanced. So, basically, it's just... like, here's my problem. On attack, I don't think he's going to be as much of a problem, because I have full control over my attack team. So, how I propose you would beat this character is, I would not run any bleed or time over effect characters, because infection's not going to work, bleed's probably not going to work either, burn, all that, not going to work. How I do propose you do it is raw attack. So Prias, Princesses, Aravs, you know, maybe even a Clementine if you model correctly. Just something that does massive amounts of percent damage. I would just throw that up against him. Now, personally, how I think I'm going to deal with him is Priya and Princess. I'm going to make sure they both have rushes. I'm going to hit down the line with Princess first. Because obviously I'll try and get a normalized, but I don't think that's going to work. So that means I'm running the risk of him running loose if I give him enough AP, which most definitely will happen. So the best solution for me, and I know this sounds a bit weird and sounds a bit everywhere at the moment, but you need to kill him when you unleash everything. If you don't, he's going to have enough AP to use his active skill, no, his adrenaline rush. That means you're going to get taunted. Obviously, because of the weapon, he's not going to be disarmed, normalized, or anything. And you're just going to get infected. And then when you get infected, if you can't heal it, which you probably won't bring a healer, you're just going to be gone off the mat instantly. So that's a problem. Also, you got to think, when you do attack him, you can't rely on whatever you got on your rush to work. So if you got confused on the rush, you got taunt, just don't rely on it. You've got to rely on raw power to kill him. And that's how I think most people are going to go about it, because relying on anything but raw power is just not reliable, because he can resist. He's got 50% resist against everything. So, yeah, how I approach to beat it is raw power. Now, if you've got multiple of him on a team, which I'm sure you'll see a lot of if you play in a top faction, well, I'm certainly expecting in War of Champion to see at least 2 of him, maybe even a third, he is going to, you know, he's just going to be an absolute bastard to deal with, especially if there's, you know, a Shiva in the line. You can't just go down the line. So that eliminates Princess automatically, unless you normalize. And then there's Arav. Obviously, you can't go down the line with that either. So I think Priya is going to be your best friend when dealing with him. Also, he can be put on auto very easily, because of his effect is pretty much everywhere on his kit. And, like, if you run anything that can, you know, control the other team, it's just game over. Also, I know it sounds like I'm ranting, but I don't know. I guess it's sort of a rant, more of a what the fuck is going on. There is no control while on defense. So I said a little bit before, I don't really mind attacking it. It's defending it that I think is going to be the absolute problem for me. Obviously, no defense is unbeatable, but against him, I I don't think there is going to be a way to defend him except from with a turn 1 attack team, because he can resist everything. That's the problem. He can resist pretty much everything, or have a very good resilience to everything. So I think you're going to have to run heal weapons, or a turn 1 attack team, or the other alternative is just bring in loads of things that can maybe give him a status effect, like Taunt, Confuse, Stun. Just hope and guess that maybe the way they modded it, and with a bit of RNG, he does get out of control. So I don't think defending him is going to be very viable. I think if you throw an auto with 2 of them, I don't think you're going to be able to defend it, to be honest. But another thing I did want to go on about, I know this is just me ranting and raving, and I know it sounds like I'm bitching. Well, I'm sorry I'm bitching, but it's more of I'm really concerned of how bad this is getting. So I did make a video on what I want to see in the game a few videos ago, maybe, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And in this video, I said, I remember clearly saying, character development and making sure a character is balanced. Now, does this character seem balanced in any way, shape, or form to you? Definitely not. Special skill alone is just that's 8 star. That's easily 8 star. So, I don't know. This character is not balanced in any way, shape, or form. Yet again, I do think raw power is the way to go against him. Because bleed, just not going to cut it. Defense down, he's probably going to resist that as well. Attack up can work. But yeah, it's very worrying. And also, maybe even a P on attack just for his active skill, because that'll heal. But yeah, personally, I think raw power is going to be the way to go. Yeah, this character should not have been released at all. I'm pretty sure Link and Lockdown even expressed their feelings that this character is not balanced and it should not be in the game. But, you know, it's Scopely at the end of the day. What you can do, they clearly just want that check at the end of the day. Personally, not going to pull. Not my type of character anyway. Even if I did have the, even if I did want to pull, I just wouldn't, you know. So, leave your thoughts and comments of what this little bastard can do, and if you think he should be in the game, should not, your opinions on it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Give me your reason in the comments below. Also, give me a like, sub, all that good shit. And, yeah, the video versus Walker should be up tomorrow. And the 250k versus Walkers, I still haven't got a Scooby-Doo what I'm going to do with that. But, you know, we'll figure it out as time goes on. And, yeah, hope you all enjoy your day, and peace.